Microphone. Forget microphone. Yeah. Masashi Kishimoto Part 2. So, quick breakdown on the screen. Where is it? Okay. Yeah, so remember, first, figure out grid. Right, grid. So if you see some complex image like this, right, like some fish eye or whatever, like it's just like you're not clear entirely for you, draw digitally, or if you don't have like tablet, you can print and draw over on just like on a paper, you know, but it's really kind of helps, and nothing bad with this, because it's always clarity is the key. You need to have like clear idea. So here, second. Let's take this from floor. So this kind of shows. Also, problem with this kind of references is no guarantee it's original work, but why I use it, because still it's a good starting point to talk about fisheye perspective. So here we have this grid of Z vanishing point, this horizon line, then this is X axis, and this line perpendicular to horizon line, it's where's my head? Okay, here. It will be y-axis, right? So, and we see how y-axis here is curved. So here it's 5-point perspective grid, right? So you remember 5-point perspective grid, but without showing these vanishing points. So we have y, x, and z vanishing points, right? So y go like this, x go like this, and z go like this, and this horizon line. So then x-axis making this like half circle going through y vanishing point, and same with the y-axis, it's making half circle going through x vanishing point. So this kind of like structure of this 5-point grid, which you need to remember, like 2 plus 2 equal 4, you know. It should be like super easy to remember all the structure, because then like we can see like in the different pictures, like picture can be framed like this, right? So we have a picture here, and 5-point grid can be like tilted, can be like shifted, like not in the center. So this like Z, and we see like X go like this, Y go like this, Z go like this. Or let's say or same grid have so many options, And I always say, like, I recommend to play around, just kind of explore how many options, like try, like, find maximum variants what you can do with one grid, just one grid. So for example, like can be like this, right? We can take z, y, and again we kind of like building, whoops, wait a second, where's lost, kind of you build this structure. So there is x-axis going this way, x-axis going this way, and then when in this grid, also important to understand how x-axis behave. It's became, when we start to draw x outside of this circle, outside of this green circle, it became kind of like 6 vanishing point perspective grid. But sometimes, you know, like here, we might need this element here, right? So what x do? X is part of horizon line, then it start to curve, then it's go to this green, and then it's kind of like continue curvature, right? Until it's became straight line. So this curvature goes this way, this way, this way, and here became straight line. Curvature continues, 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 and whoop, became this horizon line. So it's like from this curvature became half circle, and then it's just like explode until it became straight line, and then it's kind of like mirroring going to other side. So just remember this let's say like behavior, right? Like structure, it's about like connections, like relationship, how elements connected with each other, and the behavior of its elements, right? So understand which way curvature goes and why, right? So here we see how x axis can go above y vanishing point, right? So it's nothing difficult, but you need to have full picture in the mind. Then z, obviously it's just straight lines, then here, and y axis goes like this, right? Let's go around z, then here it's aligned with x axis, and then here, let me show you, it's kind of same behavior like we have with x, but vertically, right? Because this y going through center like this, and this y here, y is a straight line. So what we have this half circle line, and we have this straight. So if we see, we can see how, I mean, if there is some space kind of for a drawing, like you have paper space, you can draw this full curve, right? You can draw from point to point. But if there is no space like here, okay, you just draw curve line. You can just draw like this if you have like limited space, right? So just draw like this, because it's important. First of all, it's this transition, how we go from curve to straight, right? So like this. Okay, so same we have here, we have this vanishing point, it's straight, then curvature go here, then this curvature merge with x axis, then it's straight, and then we have this like in between. So you see we have same 5-point perspective grid, but is like tilted, and we have so many variants, like how many vanishing points we show on a picture. We can actually, it's like also like little skew perspective grid. Nobody will notice, but it's my work for your composition, kind of, you know. You can deliberately like make it a little distorted, like a band, or kind of like this, you see. Okay, so first element, it's a grid, and second is boxes, right? And the boxes, like, again, a reminder, right? Boxes is not about your skills of drawing angular objects. It's not about like kind of mastering drawing geometry kind of in perspective. Boxes in this case, right, in the particular this case, like when we draw in this like dynamic poses in perspective, overlapping and this stuff, box, it's about angle of object according to camera, because box is just like most simplified idea kind of form, right? Like, so because form have like top surface, bottom surface, back, front, left, right, that's it. It's a limited amount of surfaces. And idea of mastering boxes in this case, it's to practice practice your understanding of rotation. Because look, like you have this box right now, it's like facing straight you, like a building or like a character, right? Like, so it might be building, it can be vehicle, or it can be like character. So he's just like in front of you, like this like front view. Then we have like this, no matter why this happened, right? It might be camera moving up, or it might be like hand right now I move, right? You my object rotate vertically, so it's like now it's straight, then I rotate object vertically, and what happened, you see two surfaces instead of only one surface. You start to see two. If I rotate it 90 degree, now you see only one top surface. So only front, only top, right? 45 degree, you see both surfaces exposed about 50%. So this 100%, this 100%, this about 50%. Okay? So then we can have like intermediate, so it's like 25 and 75%, right? So we have like more front exposed and less top exposed. So this point of practicing boxes, and we have just 3 situations. One is like it's facing directly, right? Like front, top, like left, right, you know, this kind of. Or have one rotation, can be vertical rotation or horizontal rotation. Like, wait a second. So one vertical rotation and one horizontal rotation. Or we might have 2 rotations simultaneously. So it's like vertical and horizontal. You see, so we have 2 rotations, like vertical and horizontal rotation together. So when we have only one rotation, we see 2 surfaces. When we have 2 rotations together, we see 3 surfaces. We see, in this case, it's a top, front, and right surface. That's it. So it's crazy how at first it sounds kind of like I don't know, like too much information, or it's like what's this, like what you're talking about, right? But then if you get point, it's make everything so much easier, because it's very easy now to track it, because you have only like one surface, two surface, and three surface, and it's already tell you what you're looking at, right? Because now look, we have like finger, for example, here. So you see, we see top kind of surface, front, and this side surface. Then again we have this. So here this like front surface is like overlapped. Then we have this. So basically like we can break down each finger. Then we have like this palm. Again, it's like you can show it, this hand here. I can show it like two surface, like this. And this will be correct. It's my kind of decision how I show it. Or I want to choose, say like, okay, I actually want to show like three surface. And this is just like a very different case. We have like different situation, you know, like again, you know, it's like is the difference, right? When you like looking like this or like this. So it might be like front vertically down, even if it's like in a strong fisheye perspective, but it's just like vertical rotation down. Or it can show it like this, so it's vertically and also to the side. So it's a language of kind of creating this 3D illusion. And the whole thing here is to achieving this clarity when it's not a random. You're not like, oh, like it looks like three-dimensional. No, you have like clear idea, like you turning left, turning right, turning up, turning down, this kind of thing. So here I can say like, okay, I want to make it like this, even little, but it's a third surface. And then go like this arm, then we have kind of box for this arm, then we have like kind of body, box for body, right? Same, it's just like make sure you understand how exposed each side, like we see top, we see front, we see right side. Say, okay, clear. So let's say like this. So if this was like top of a body, then we have like a pelvis. So here I'm thinking about like what I see. Like I see only top and side maybe, right? So maybe here pelvis look like this, only two surface. So it's like top surface and this right side surface. And then we have lower part, it's like three surface, and foot three surface, and the upper part also like three surface. So why it's three surface here, right? It's like it's telling us that this leg is not parallel, it's going away, kind of, right? So it's like I draw in, for example, I draw in leg like this. So we see top surface and the right surface. So it means it's kind of like parallel here. But once I start to show third surface, it's telling me that it's no more parallel. It's start to kind of moving away. So it's like turned away, even if it's like shape to two-dimensionally. It looks same form. But three-dimensionally right now, you telling us, you say, no, what you're looking, it's actually rotated away from you, because like with the cup, right? Like in the cup we have, you looking from side, like this. But if you show it like this, you say like, okay, so it's actually is like little like rotated. Okay, so here when I show third surface, it's already telling us that this part is rotated towards camera, and this part is kind of like looking away from camera. So it's like farther, and this one is closer, like a pen, you know, kind of. So, whoop. So two-dimensionally, it's just like short. Kind of cylinder, let's say, right? But three-dimensionally, once I show here this like surface facing you, it tell us it's a closer, it's a front surface, and this surface it's a rear surface. So this kind of principle, I hope it's clearer and clear for you. Так, so then we have head. So same head, right? Like we see back of a head, and we see top of a head. So you see, sometimes it's just like kind of like logical analysis. It's like you ask yourself, like a verbal analysis. Visually, it's you don't see any rectangles, you don't see like clear edges, but just logically, you look at this and say like, what I see like top of his head, and I see back of his head, and it's like we have so much already experience, visual experience of world around us. So I can say is like I see like directly front of his top head, or it's about like 50%. It's like a slight angle, or it's like huge angle, you know, or it's front. So you already actually can read it. So it's more about teaching yourself to understand what you know already. You know, it's like you don't need to go and like look for references and stuff. You already know it. Just kind of teach yourself to acknowledge it. You know, so it's just two surface here, okay? Then we have this leg. Then it's kind of, yeah, three surface. Anyway, he's like so small. Okay, so just two main elements, perspective grid and boxes together. And you see again here boxes. It's kind of like, especially on extreme angles, in extreme perspective, like here, you know, don't try to calculate it. It's more about practice and experience, and you can use some reference like photograph with extreme camera shots of people, so you can see like how proportions change. Or you can have these references of your favorite artists so they look convincing for you, right? But there is no way to do it for artists, like how to measure it properly for artists without kind of like making it absolutely impractical. Like if you will start to measure, no way you will really use it for drawing, you know. You can only do it like for some kind of research to kind of tell people like, you know, this is how you can measure good information, but nobody will use it. It's like it's kind of like totally kill like whole drawing process, you know. So instead of trying to measure it mathematically, right, you just practice with these proportions, and basically like this thing with the cubes here, it's like intuitive perspective exercise. Like for example, when we have, you know, this kind of like drawing cubes or boxes, overlapping and rotating in the space. So you just like practice to get this feeling of a form, how you can like create illusion of a form and space. So it's kind of like after some practice you really start to feel it, like almost like you physically manipulating it, like if you have clay in your hands, or yeah, like if you work with physical objects, you know. So whole this figure, it's basically this kind of intuitive perspective exercise. When I don't have vanishing points, I don't have grid for these boxes, I just playing around, and you can like play with proportions. So let's say make bigger boxes. So, and you see how I only 3 parameters I'm working with is I'm showing 1, 2 or 3 surfaces. When you know it, when you have this concept in your head in the form of words, it makes it so much easier, you know, because all this time you kind of have some vague idea. You have like, yeah, kind of, I know it already, right? But is a big difference when you can't say it and when you just kind of somewhere there, but it's not clear yet. That's why, you know, everybody say teaching helps, because it's require you to put everything in the words. So this one, oh. Anyway, and then can be like whole composition. I can make like a rectangle here, for example. Not a rocket science, but is really what open a kind of advanced perspective for you. It's perspective grids and this kind of idea of rotations. Okay, anyway, just can you know, can do it like warm up every day. And I have video, go and watch video about perspective grids and about intuitive perspective. I have video, so don't make it like 20-hour long. Так, let's quickly break down this. Так, okay. So here we have this curved perspective grid like from last video. So you see this line. Так, let's choose other color. Pink. Pink. So this line, okay. It's our Z axis. So it's kind of showing us a Z vanishing point. Okay. And we remember Z vanishing point already tell us where is horizon line. So horizon line about here. This is horizon line. So now I remember what kind of perspective grid for this kind of down shot. So camera looking down, like looking below horizon line. Not at horizon line, not above, it look below, so it's a down shot. In a down shot we have this perspective grid, so it's like Z axis go like this, and Y axis go like this, and X axis go like this. So I remember it and I can recreate it, even if there here is no enough information. This where your literacy will save you, right? And actually here perspective is not entirely correct. I will show you. Так. Have some mistake. So here are Y axis. Or actually it's okay. Yeah, maybe it's okay. I was trying to make a case, but it's not. And this Z axis goes this way. And here you see it's kind of, it's just like some texture on the ground, but it's kind of aligned with the X-axis too, so we can use it as a hint, like a clue. So in this grid we will have this kind of like point of view, like direction of a camera. In this direction of a camera is where straight line of y-axis and x-axis became straight line. So here horizon line is curved, x-axis curved this way until it became straight, and then x-axis curved other way. So this intersection is where we have like direction of a camera. So yeah, here's kind of everything little bent. We have this like bench showing us x-axis. Okay, yeah, let's do it like this. Anyway, so it might be like little skewed, whatever. Let's say it's here. So these are x-axis. So here on the right, it's obviously the vanishing point here, because we see corridor. And it's also curved horizon line. So you see, like, we don't see much of a perspective grid here. We see only like the axis and the y-axis. Yeah, we see y-axis, this curved line. That's all. So from a whole perspective grid structure, we see only like two elements. We don't see horizon line. We don't see much of x-axis here. So that's why you need to know it, so you can like project it by yourself. So we see the axis, so horizon line will be somewhere like this, curved. We can build now straight line for y-axis. So you see, it's telling us camera is tilted, right? If y-axis was straight vertical, it's like camera is like standing straight, but because this central line of y-axis tilted, so it means like camera tilted, so whole grid is tilted, like here actually too. So these are y-axis, and curvature of y-axis going down like this. It's kind of like going towards y vanishing point, somewhere like outside of picture frame, about here. Так. And x. So like I say, we don't see x, but we just build it ourselves. So somewhere will be perpendicular to y-axis, x-axis, and it goes like this. Okay, so here is a grid, and then okay, let's also do grid for this. Later we'll show boxes. Так. Yeah, hello Gun Devils. Yeah, see you later. We'll be recording of this video. Так, so same here, let's look for clues, right? We have y-axis, also like on this stairs here. We have z-axis by a direction of these lines, so it's showing us. And we have x-axis, it's these lines here. Okay, so it's like 3-point perspective grid. So this goes here, this go here, this are z and z here. You see, like I always show, find two extreme, like we have z-axis go in this direction and z-axis go in this direction. Now we have two lines, and between them we can start to build grid, right? We have this, and now you can see how between them we have all this rest of z, and here we can like just continue this curve, this angle kind of, no, not continue movement like towards z vanishing point, because it's kind of like z vanishing point here, one line showing it this way, other line showing it that way, so they both pointing towards y vanishing point, and so we find in between them, and then we just continue, kind of keep showing towards z vanishing point. This kind of like how you build perspective grid when vanishing point is outside of paper. Same with the y-axis, we have this line, we have this line. Here we might actually find vanishing point. Let's see. It's kind of weird. No, for y-axis don't have vanishing point. It's outside of paper. So same, we can find two angled lines. Let's say, yeah, it's kind of like wrong here in this example, I guess. So look, this go here, so vanishing point somewhere here, but then we have this tree and this pipe. It's kind of like not match, right? So, and this railings, so y-axis look like this here, and this like trees. Yeah, it's like y-axis here is total mess. But is in this case, like when you find mistakes, errors in the artwork, like I say, it's your like favorite masters, like super top super masters, they all do mistakes. And it's also very good to find these mistakes, to realize how much kind of flexibility you have. So you need this knowledge too, and you need this from like this kind of practical observation, when you not just look but you draw, you try to draw it, you kind of experience it yourself, right? So, and then you realize like, look, all this time I was looking at it was looking like everything okay. So it's possible to make mistake and nobody will notice, you know. So you learn how you can use it, because it's kind of a skill how to kind of like operate within limitations. Like as a human, kind of you're not like 3D editing program, kind of, you're not a robot or something, right? So you know you always will make some mistakes, and you need this skill to understand how you can organize kind of your mistakes so they will not look like they will not like spoil your work, and nobody will notice them, you know. Because like if you look on the world around, actually there is so many kind of like irregulations, right? So it's like you can't see like perfect clean surface, kind of, right? Like, or like perfect black color. There's kind of video on internet about this perfect black color which kind of don't reflect any light at all. So like it's like absorb all light, and it looks like crazy. Like when you look at it, like it feels like you're losing your mind, because usually we never see like actual like 100% black color. It's always like little kind of muddy black, like grayish, you know. So we don't have like any surface like a road, stadium, whatever. Everything is like little irregular, right? So, and actually like when we have this like irregularity errors in our work, it's actually kind of like make it look more like vivid, alive. But if you try to hide your illiteracy by this, if you hope for lucky accident with the lack of knowledge, it's always visible. We can always see, okay, this guy, he just don't know perspective, you know. We can always see it. So one way is like when you make mistakes because you don't know how to make it right. In other way is like when you know how to make it right, but it's kind of impossible to make everything right. So you manage how to make mistakes so they will be kind of like work for you, they will create this kind of like feeling of like comfortable irregularity in your work, being part of your style, kind of, you know, you adapt your weaknesses into your style, kind of, you know. So this kind of it's like a skill too. Basically, it's like it is artist style, right? Like when they weaponize their weak spots. Let's say, yeah. Так, so here it's obviously like the vanishing point. Yeah, so this also look now like a 5-point perspective grid. So we have this curved y-axis and curved x-axis. Kind of like this. Okay, so these grids. So kind of this boxer stuff I was already talk is kind of enough, but maybe like what is important is again to mention again this important about like degree, like about proportions in the fisheye or extreme perspective. So look, like for example, like we have this arm here and we have his arm here. So it's like huge difference in proportions, right? And even smaller is like kind of like this kind of, right? So he's kind of hand like very smaller compared to his hand here, and kind of why, right? Like you may try to like say, okay, we have like ratio, so we have like 8 head character, let's say, right? So you can memorize all this, like say, okay, so it's this is equal face, right? Like everybody studies this, so it's like face length of a face, and then face is like little smaller than shorter than head, is kind of this. So it's like if he's 8 head tall, then it will be like 9 faces, or 8 face and 69 kind of 069 is like man, like you really want to calculate like all this ratio in perspective, you know, looking like for this like 8 heads in perspective and how this like ratio change. No way, it's insane. It's like no way you will really do it, or anyone. They definitely don't do this. Nobody calculating proportions here. It's just like guessing based on intuitive kind of intuition, perception, and the experience of observing this kind of fisheye reference. You can have like, you know, some folder with hundreds of fisheye photographs, and he looks like, yeah, it's kind of look realistic, this kind of ratio, this kind of proportions. Same like head, for example, right? Like, so his head here this size, his head here this size, right? And then this guy head go smaller. So just play around with this, and I think it's important also nuance. It's you know, to find this balance between precision, between this like, oh, how to calculate this stuff, right, and intuition, because everybody fall in this trap when they start to learn perspective. Like once they understand like 3-point perspective, and then they're like, okay, now I will calculate everything in perspective. I need to like become this like crazy professor like who measuring everything in perspective, like because I really want to make everything right, you know. Everybody falls this trap, you know. You need to go back to earth and remember like you're an artist, you're not like dude with a ruler who will sit and really like measure everything. And when you start to draw, when you start to use perspective in the actual drawings, you find this kind of balance between intuition and structure. So same with the perspective grids. Like all the time I'm trying to explain this stuff, like what actually you need to know about perspective grids. Actually what you need to know is what elements there, like vanishing points, axes, and what kind of their relationship and behavior. That's it. Just to remember it. Just draw it again and again, like this vanishing point, blah 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 blah. Draw it 100 times, and then it's became like clear as a day, you know. So same here, kind of. We have this guy. Let me find color. Which color is better? So how these proportions change here, right? So it is definitely change of proportions. So head is bigger than normal because we have like this kind of foreshortening, right? So same, this hand, this arm is bigger. Like again we have this, and this like a little smaller here. So I think this difference in proportions, it's rather just came with practice. When you try, you draw this kind of picture one time, you see proportions look weird. You draw it one more time, you adjust proportions, you're like, okay, now it looks better. And this is how you improve with the drawing this kind of proportions. So, and here we see like how this lower body goes smaller, how like legs going smaller. If you have better idea, like write me in the chat or in the comment, because you see, or if you kind of draw in proportions in some specific way, like you are calculating proportions. So here same, right? We have this arm, we have this head, this beak, and then we have this head, this small, this arm, like, yeah, it's a smaller, yeah, this arm smaller here. So we can see like this finger this long, this finger like little smaller than this, but still it's kind of like let me show you again to make a point here. So it's kind of look correct, right? But in same time, if we put it in 3D, I'm sure it will be like something kind of wrong with it, because look, this hand is like really like what is the distance here? It's kind of like a decent distance between this arm, this hand and this hand, but change in the proportions not big. So it's kind of like artistic kind of manipulation of proportions, which like make them look like dynamic and impressive, but is not technically like correct if you will start to check. So anyway, so this is kind of like my note here about proportions. And also kind of if precision, if this kind of like right proportions important for you, yeah, make photographs yourself like this, right? So like this, so you can have like exact reference how proportions change. Like take a figure, took photograph, or use 3D program, so you will have like clear example of ratios. Instead of kind of breaking your head looking for some secret book, you know, like people will ask like, which book you recommend to understand how to draw these measure proportions in the fish eye? Oh, I think it's nobody do this anyway. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. So how many pictures we have today? Hello, Lucia. Yeah, I didn't read or watch Naruto. No, I read before, like in the childhood, read some Naruto, but don't remember much. Так. So let's see. Now let's do like this. So we tilt little horizon line. So this Z vanishing point, Y axis. Так, and X axis. Так. So now we have, yeah, let's put some should be higher. Let's make it here. Okay, so this will be our room. Some kind of dojo here, right? Так, so we have hand. bit smaller, like here. And this guy flying here. Yeah, right now, like if I will draw this kind of pose, like making from scratch, like my own fighting scene, I will use like 3D program just to see like how they will be related in space. Так. Let's see. But anyway, like even if you like use 3D program like I did, you're not like draw over it, you're not tracing it. It's just like give you better idea of proportions. That's it. So still like drawing process will be like this. So here you see you need to kind of like rebuild everything to create this 3D illusion, which means you need to understand structure, you will need to use your knowledge of perspective grids, like boxes, and more you know will be better. Like you know anatomy, you know composition, all this will help. Так, let's see. Here he has this like the same like a Norman Rockwell. Like yeah, he use models, make photographs of people, and somebody was saying it's like, oh, it's not a real artist because he used photographs, and he show like examples like how much difference between photograph and his final work, you know. It's because like every stroke he did in the painting, all this like require like very high skill, like and a lot of knowledge. So it's not just like mindless copying. It's just kind of like a reality of a process. Like if you want to make like highly rendered type of work, yeah, you need a photo or real life models, because there is too much like subtle nuances which you need to consider when you create such rendering. Same with complex space and the complex like poses in a complex perspective. Так. Kind of this. kind of have a weird bend. Legs there. Maybe make head bigger. Yeah, like this. No, okay, so he have elbow this way. There's some kind of balcons. Let's see. So here we have this 3-point perspective grid. So here are x axis, y-axis. Так. And z. So this is the axis. Так. Then we have this stairs, like edge. So also interesting, like stairs have these threads, right? So these corners of the threads show us kind of angle of stairs. So it can be like different angle. And also it's not necessary straight. It can be curved, like it can be like this. So it's not it's not curved perspective, it's just stairs itself have this kind of curvature. So same here, it's kind of just like a curved surface of a stair. And you can, you know, like if we draw like a curved road, you can show it like this, or you can like make like hundreds vanishing points for each turn of a road, right? So, and you will have this kind of curvature for a road with built with the vanishing points. So same here, we can have like many vanishing points for like angle of stairs, or just draw like curved two curved lines, and then if you need you can make it a grid, like a curved grid of the surface itself. Так. Anyway, so let's see. We have column. Here's like two columns. And a river. Yes, there's a river. So it's kind of bridge. So, and we have these three characters. She's like more to the right. He's like very small here, and she about here. let's make them like boxes. Yeah, it's my super eraser. Так, so here. Okay, so now I have this axis. Can use for drawing stair threads. It's actually like a cool life hack to use eraser like this, because it's change like a mess in a pencil. So tip became very light. You see, so back of a pencil became heavy part, and tip became very light. Cool idea. Maybe I should make it like my special product. Buy pencils, like attach needed eraser and sell for $100. Special offer. So here's fat cat. Так. Welcome to the jungle. So because stairs uneven, they're kind of like cracked stones, so we can draw it with a broken line at first. And later adjust. Hello pen, tab graphite. Here, bridge, bridge, bridge. Yeah, I'm fine. Just kind of early It's already not early morning. But I wake up very early today. And yeah. It's kind of in a weird condition. I don't know, it's kind of weird, like when you, how it's still different. Like after 300 videos, I still have this like extra tension when I draw on a camera, you know. So, and in the beginning video I was like, I think I was kind of fresh enough, but then suddenly like poof, like losing energy, because like surprisingly exhausting. What else? Yeah, like making book. What about motorcycles? Oh, it's crazy. Like I stuck for a couple days. I stuck on a chapter about brake calipers. It's crazy. I wasn't expect it will take so much time. It's like on a Godfather. Once I thought I finish this book, there is again something. Again, need to fix, to find some more details. But still, I think this winter I will finally publish motorcycle book. So my announce is winter motorcycle book will be published. It's like 250 pages and very illustrated. There's like every page have so many drawings, like very detailed. All this like technical drawings, references, step by step. A lot of material. Can you hear birds? Sound very cool. Birds. Yeah, birds speaking. Yeah, I have brown ink, but it's not waterproof, so I don't use it much. Maybe I will buy, yeah, maybe I will look some waterproof brown ink. I like brown ink. Oh, cool. Yeah, yeah, I was kind of like inspired by brush ink washes from this artist. I forget name. Anyway, I even like draw comic book with the ink washes. It's look cool. Just cheap version of Copics. Hmm. Yeah, it's nice to have like a bunch of fountain pen with different color ink. Should do this too. Like black, gray. Mm, yeah, probably it's like this like kind of idea of brown ink being more I don't know. It's kind of like more organic look maybe. For me, black. Oh, and okay, like imagine with brown ink. It just look, yeah, it's look more organic. Like you can draw portraits, you can draw nature environments, like trees, all the stuff. It just like look more kind of suitable for it. When you use black for portraits, like especially black ink, it's too much contrast, right? It's too kind of like too dramatic maybe. But for me, of course, like black ink, it's because manga and comic books. So black ink is a default color. Oh, it was Colte, but I already kind of like finish it, I guess, or I will stretch it. But brown Colte, it's no waterproof, so I don't like it. Yeah, right now is gold there. Before was brown ink. Hmm. Nice. Так. Here. Так. Good watercolor paper. For sketchbook, just whatever watercolor paper. You can ask this kind of questions in art shop. Just go art shop and say like which is kind of like no name watercolor paper like you can use for your sketches. So if it's like watercolor sketch, you don't need expensive watercolor paper. But if you want to make like illustration or kind of artwork for exhibition or for sale, then better buy like expensive paper, kind of like this, like arches. I like 300 gram. Don't know what is GSM. Yeah, just go talk with people in art shop, because in different countries there can be like different materials. Just look what is in your shop. Так. Okay, so here we can apply this approach, with kind of cool hanging heads to perspective grid. So for example, let's say like here we see camera is clearly higher than Naruto, right? So it's kind of looking down at him. So, and this guy, it seems like camera is about his high, and also because his eye level is not like his like a brow line, okay. Forehead, his forehead about horizon line, okay. So you see here's this horizon line. So yeah, about this guy forehead is camera height. So he's the tallest, or similar with this guy, tall. Two tall guys, and everybody else, they're much shorter. So imagine like you have character how's it called, character sheet, right? So we have this guy, and let's see. And we have Naruto. So this Naruto, he have like 1.5. So this guy, it's about his eye level, but Naruto is about like 1.5 head below his eye level. So I just see it from this picture. So look, horizon line here, horizon line curve goes there, and here we have like distance between his head and horizon line. So like this about top of his head, then one and about half to horizon line. So this kind of like height of Naruto kind of. And same we look for other. Somebody have like half head below horizon line. Somebody have, yeah, same, like couple characters here. Yeah, generally difference is like half head, one head, and like Naruto 1.5. So we have 3 height, 4 height. Okay, so here our horizon line, this tall guy, because it's convenient, especially in this situation where is very kind of dense with a lot of figures. Like I even don't need to draw legs for them. All I need to do right now is kind of draw their heads. So again we have this like a ratio situation, like we have far away head and we have close head. So all I need is I put them like with the proper ratio. So let's say here is y-axis, right? So this head of Naruto is bigger, but what is important also is to make sure I draw his height properly, his ratio properly. It's like making this about like 1.5. His head should be like this ratio, right? Like 1.5 below horizon line, let's say. All right, and same every other head. So it's like I draw in smaller, bigger, and I place in these heads around. So it's kind of like life hack here. And when I draw in this like different size, make sure each head have proper ratio. This is how we show their height, just by drawing this empty space. So half, 0.5, 1.5, 1. And so let's say this character here, like his head bigger than this guy, but he also kind of like eye level. So I draw his head like this. Then we have again about 1.5 here. This guy, he's like sit on he sits, so it's like different case. Don't need to think about it much. Just draw him sit on the floor. This guy, he's like his head is touching horizon line. This one about half below horizon line. This one also kind of touching horizon line. Here we have character like one head below horizon line. and etc. You see this kind of logic. It's crazy how kind of simple it is. Так, so let's say we have character here. This like half head below. Here is like about 1.5. So this. So is it clear? Like write me in the chat if like you understand what I mean. Так, so this head, we're like hanging them to horizon line. You also almost forget y-axis. So here we have this head about, you see, like one head and one head, like this head ratio, one head between horizon line and this head. Так. Same with this here. It's like half. Head. So these two guys, they're like sitting, like how squatting. And Naruto, again double check. Yeah, kind of like 1.5 head below horizon line. So, you know, instead of drawing full height, like drawing legs of everybody, you can just draw heads. Just draw their heads from horizon line. Так. So, same. If you want, you can show this kind of type of rotation. So here you see again, it's like we see mostly front, we see about 50 front and top together, and very little of this left side of his. Four fingers, like right angle. Can add this like haircut. So this guy. Так. So what is the angle of this guy head? About like this. And then it's kind of two buildings. It's not a corridor. It's two long buildings. Yeah. Так. So you see, it's kind of trick with these heads, how to kind of like optimize process without spending too much time drawing all this like full figures or like making some crazy measurements. Using knowledge of perspective helps. Так. Okay. So maybe make some. Yeah, I also, yeah, like this one is kind of like DIY sketchbook. So there is a lot of tutorials. You just check different tutorials how to make DIY sketchbook, and choose approach which is convenient to you. Because like I do it in a way which don't require any equipment. It's just like you need like a curved needle, you need some thread and glue. That's it. I don't need like anything. Так. It's kind of here's finger. Hello, Coffee Black. Thank you. Так. Та-та-та-та. So I kind of like keep recommending again and again. Recommend to master perspective grids. It's very easy, but you need to do it 100 times. You need to really like create this like muscle memory, like a neuron. Yeah, it's called kind of like building neural network. So it will feels like you're born with a knowledge of perspective. If you will practice drawing perspective grids again and again, again and again, like you can use like small sizes, kind of like this, you know. You don't need like super big, just like half A4 or yeah, about this size, like half of A4, and once you do like about 100 of them, all this like 5 point, 6 point, I explain every perspective grid in my tutorials. You can look just like there is literally a tutorial calls every perspective grid. So you can learn from it, or all perspective grids, something like this, or every type of perspective. I already did so many videos about this. It already feels like it's too many tutorials. Так. Kind of. And if you just do it like you know, it's some kind of like a line warm up. Also is like it's kind of like feels like casual game to kill some time. You can just like practice draw some perspective grids in a train, when you're waiting something in a line. There's a lot of time, kind of, you need just like 5-10 minutes. So loud outside this stuff. Let me close the window. Так.
Твою!
Okay, window closed. Hello, Heber. Yeah, like I think like perfect path to learn drawing in general, kind of, right? It's to start from reverse engineering your favorite art. So you have your favorite artworks, and you need to understand how they been made. Who is artist? What he learn? Where he learn? Is he have like a books teaching about his process, or interview he talk about his process? Try to copy his works like in every way you can. If he use like watercolor, go to learn some watercolor, right? If you can find like step-by-step process, drawing process of this artist, try to copy his process. If this artist study, like he has this high level anatomy knowledge, okay, then you need to study anatomy and etc, etc, you know. So because there is no some kind of like one path or one kind of art, one kind of drawing, is all very, very different. And how you will study, what you will study, very depends from what kind of work inspires you, what kind of final result you want. So it's like if you make like a portraits, for example, right? You like to make portraits of real models, then you don't need to study perspective much, It's just some very simple basic perspective. You don't need 5-point perspective for this, for sure. Or if you like to paint boats in a river, there's so many great artists doing this on a crazy level, but they don't use any advanced perspective, or you don't need like human anatomy for painting boats. So don't try to learn from this approach like you try to become some kind of perfect ultimate universal artist. It's it's kind of like trap which will take a lot of resources, maybe money. You will start to get addicted to tutorials. You will watch every possible tutorials. You will buy 100 books and eventually don't learn much because it's kind of too much scattering, too much pressure and no result. So better start from result, start from end. So this kind of like advice I speak like very general, right? And very, very, very general. Because to give like some more useful advice, more precise advice, need to see in person, need to see like what you draw already, like even if you're beginner, there is something you already draw, because this is kind of our language, right? We need to see what you do, look at you, hear what you say, and then it's much more clear about what can recommend to you. It's kind of it's very individual, very kind of nuance thing. So if being like more reasonable kind of, right, it should be super obvious for everybody, but somehow it's not, but it should be super obvious. It's kind of like just kind of say I want to make good picture. It should sound like nonsense, because it should, instead of just want to be a good artist or make beautiful pictures, kind of, it should be like some exact kind of like what exactly you want to make, Like I want to draw comic books like American style. I want to draw manga like I don't know, Katsuhiro Otomo, or like this Bakuman kind of. Even like with the comic books, there is difference in the styles, in approaches. Yeah. Так. So here, let's draw. Yeah, birds trying to level my house. They're like, hey man, we're speaking to you. You're trying to ignore us. You're human. We will show you who is the boss here. They start to launch, and it's like explosive birds. As there no more joking. They even tries to relic. Now time to use hammers. Yeah, sometimes there is birds check my balcony, like looking for place to make a nest. But I have 2 cats. So I think they notice my cats and fly away. Who let the birds out? Who. So here's this guy. Cool, thank you. Oh, you know, this motorcycle book will be, I think it will be a very good gift for any man. Like, I wish somebody gifted me this book in a childhood, you know, because it will impress like every guy, no matter like you have motorcycle or not. Just kind of like encyclopedia with many reference. No. Open kind of universe of motorcycles for yourself. Так. It's like sometimes, you know, like you looking for a good book with a visual reference, like about vehicles, about tanks or whatever. So you buy this big expensive book on a photo paper, it's like everything look cool, book arrive, you open, it's kind of like visual reference there, just not very useful. It's like maybe like very colorful photographs, but I don't know, like kind of dark or not much clear details or not enough like angles or something. So I tried to make this book where you buy it, it's like, oh my god, so many reference. Like, so if you have like question about motorcycle, it's like everything's there. It's like what this thing, like how to draw that thing, and how many variants of this detail. So yeah, and basically it's just like to like clear every questions. So to when you after like when you try to draw any motorcycle, you will have much better idea what you're looking for and what you're drawing. Okay, here. So yeah, can you later write a comment? Satoshi Hakuta. Okay, I think I remember it. Okay, I will check We'll check with this Satoshi. Yeah, it's like no much chatters today, but many people watching this. Harsh reality, you know. Brutal world. Yeah, it feels like there's funny stuff as like in China they have video show where this kind of like no video car expo. So car expo, there's like introducing different like brand Chinese cars and stuff, and there is like usually some pretty girls, like pretty models, like standing in their car, so just kind of attract more people. And you can find videos. There is like creepy guy. I forget like how they call him, but this guy who is like go everywhere on this expo, and he like staring at these models. He's like standing there like and looking at these girls, like and don't say anything. He just looking at them, don't make video, don't make camera. He's just like staring, and like everybody joking about it, and it's like just doing it for hours. And yeah, this is how it feels like when people watching and don't type anything, don't say hello. Yeah, maybe everybody drawing like soft black. He say in Russian, he drawing. Yeah, so I think also make in the Discord audio chat, audio room. But I have like filter. Discord can go people only from Patreon or channel members. So if you're channel member, we can make like audio room in Discord. So yeah, it's definitely more convenient like when draw and talk. So you don't need to use your hands for typing. Так, there is this guy. Yeah, like I said, Discord for channel members. So if you became YouTube member of my YouTube channel, you can join Discord. It's like VIP. Так. So here's this guy had. Also follow me on Substack or Substack. I'm writing articles there sometimes. Maybe we'll also make some VIP live videos for Substack. I want to try. It's like super brutal, uncensored streams. Yeah, I have also black, but I did some kind of weird manipulations with it, and it don't work anymore. So I need to buy a new one. Yeah, I was trying to like insert GNIP in this my second Lamy Safari, and I kind of destroy it accidentally. So now I need to buy. Yeah, I'm looking for G-Nib fountain pen. There is some in yeah, maybe on Amazon or in Japan. Go to buy, because there is some pens with G pen, but they're not reliable. But there are some brands like make it really good quality. I think it will be very cool to have G-Nib on fountain pen. Так. Let's make some ink. Pilot Kakuna? No. It's also a fountain pen. Kakuna. We'll check it out. Hello, Deepesh Kandal. Deepesh Kandal. Hello. Welcome. Так. I'll show you the world. Fools down. 3.5 point perspective. Gold flag snip. Так. I think my wife was in Nepal, and some of my friends. Так. No, Nepal. Word, forbidden words. Can't say this. But what if no, if draw, no, if I draw like figure, yeah, I should say these words, because there's like proportions. Так. Yeah, it's like, you know, like say there is some country like a center of the world, and some country will be like a nipple of a world. But Nepal is high mountains. It's like kind of like a Tibet, right? Oh, very cool place. Так, okay, some shading. Nice. Yeah, I've seen photographs. Yeah, just Google right now. You know, is so many like video, like 4K video from any country. You can travel, look sites, and Yeah, like I like to watch videos like New Zealand, because I was planning to go New Zealand. It's very close to Taiwan, but eventually my New Zealand right now is a motorcycle book. It's my like precious. It's my gift in the course. I hope I will finish it, because I I plan to finish it this winter, but it's subconsciously I feel like I'm lying to myself, and I will never finish this book. I'm from South Russia. It's like southwest. So near Ukraine, near Europe, also near mountains, near Black Sea, kind of this area. But I never been in this kind of high mountains like in Nepal. Hello, Erza Scarlet. Yeah, you will draw better than me if you watch my tutorials. Yeah, no, I mean, like, I can talk about politics, but sometimes I'm just afraid I will, like, heat it up and can't stop. Can't stop talking about this. So, and people immediately running away. They're just like, oh no, I think it's a artist channel. Why you talking politics? So sometimes I can't resist, but if I can, I prefer leave it for Discord. I can go my Discord, and there I'm talking a lot about politics. But if you have any kind of exact questions, I will say what I think. Так. No, usually this kind of simplify shapes is for streamline working process. Because like if you're like in animation or comic books and you need to draw a lot, and you need to draw these characters like again and again, and like you need to draw multiple poses. So less kind of nuance shapes you have, like it's kind of just better for you because you can work faster and you will have some time for sleep and eat. So that's kind of main reason. Because if you're like painter who can make like one painting in a month to sell, to pay his bills. Yeah, you can draw like very detailed, very go into all nuances. But manga animator artists, they just draw too many figures, too many scenes. That's why they eventually, you can see how like style change in Bakuman, for example. Like the first books, it was like much more detailed than last books. In the last books, there's like very, very quick. So, and it's not because it's kind of easier to draw, you know. It's like how beginners, we might think about this, like say, oh, yeah, drawing is hard, like how to make it easier. No, it's not because easier, it's just because your amount of work you need to do is unrealistic. And the only way to meet your deadlines is to make like style less sophisticated. Так, anyway. Gimpy, okay. Yeah, you can watch recording and look back. So anyway, kind of this. So yeah, 3 hours. Like I'm surprised how I survived so long this morning. Yeah. So yeah, and very soon I will show you. I will print my sample of motorcycle book, because I want to, you know, double check printed format, like how it looks, how look all details. And I will show on a stream. You will see like about in a month, you will see first print version of a book. And everybody prepare your money for this winter. Like before GTA 6, I think like PC version, you will have my motorcycle book. This is my main announce. So here, so this is my like DIY sketchbook. So usually I do covers. So usually I have also cover on this kind of sketchbook. But this time I think like, why I don't need cover, because I will use it for stream. So for live video is very convenient. You know, I have like everything together here. So some kind of warm-ups. So this was, you can find tutorial was talking about drawing vehicles in perspective. So it's again, it's same grid, this curved horizon line. This was video about Fred Moore, my favorite comic book artist due to school. This is my left hand warm-ups. Hello, Perza art. This was tutorial about motorcycles. Kind of this. Yeah, brown ink actually. Yeah, so think about like like for example, like drawing interactions, right? Main problem behind this, it's not much about some specific knowledge you lack. It's about you still struggle with fundamentals. So more you struggle with the basics, less you capable to work on some complex subjects. So it's like you can draw like static figure, but when you start to draw like dynamic figures, when you start to draw like figure like interacting, you just experience like overload. So and usually it's like main problem became like when you just start to make mistakes on very basic things, and this kind of complexity of a task overwhelm you, and this happen just because you still need too much attention to control your basics. But once you practice your basics, your fundamentals, it became like your second nature. You start to work with like perspective, like proportions, fluently, and this make you capable to draw like these complex scenes. So I think this kind of very important to kind of realize, to understand this, because there is like proportions, gestures, ratio, perspective, whatever you take, like whatever particular aspect you will think is a problem, it is not really is. Real problem is that it's a lot of things must be done together, and when you struggle with every aspect, it makes it just too difficult task for you, right? So and there is certain aspects which is kind of like comparatively very easy to solve, like perspective. Like on my channel you can solve it very fast, just watch my tutorials, I mean really, like, and do my recommendations. It will save you years. It will save years of improving, and once you feel comfortable with perspective, you will feel like you have more brain resources to manage other details, other aspects, and you need to keep trying. Like even if you feel like you're doing it not well, like you say you're drawing these interactive poses, while you're improving your essentials, you still need to try drawing this like interaction scenes. So because if you will not do it, it also will kind of have you will lack this practice, which is like a direct practice. So it's like if you want to draw portraits, you draw portraits, but also if on a side, like when you have like other time aside from drawing portraits, use your other time to learn anatomy, to learn shading, to learn like rendering, to like improve your hatching, right? So it's like two different activity. One is like you drawing portraits, you want it, okay, draw it all the time, start right now and keep doing it, right? Because if you need to improve, it doesn't mean you need to stop drawing portraits. No, you need to keep doing it. Keep experience like all your mistakes and stuff, because it's important to have this experience, because this will like, it's your motivation, it's your spark for learning. Because if you will stop doing actual work and you will only focus on learning, eventually you will trap. Eventually you will like stuck in the like endless learning, and you will lost kind of like why I'm doing it, you know. So it's kind of like kind of interesting thing, which is very subtle. And I talking about this in my video, how to improve. It's called like how to improve or how to improve in art. I'm talking about this. So it's like it really helps to have this like separate approach of making your art and doing practice and doing studies. This practice is like a gym, is like a training, and making art is like your kind of a reason, you know. It's like who you are. You want to draw, so you draw, like you draw your creative stuff. So it's totally different process, and they should be done together. Like you should you should do them both in a different time. Like morning you practice, you warm up, like afternoon you draw your works, like you draw in illustrations, comic book pages, stuff like this. Never like you can exclude actually learning, right? But it's kind of will be your weakness if you will entirely exclude learning. But technically, yeah, you can exclude learning and only draw, only create, kind of, right? And you will improve eventually. But it's not very efficient. You can also stuck. But you can't exclude creative part. If you exclude creative, if you will only learn, only practice, only train, it's kind of pointless. It's became pointless, and it can become some kind of like a goal in itself, you know, just like compete with other artists for skills, like kind of look, I can draw this, can you draw this, or like, oh, I draw best like fingers or perspective stuff. Like who cares? Like we not study to showing off our skills. Your goal in a way should be creative works, right? So I think it's important to remember this. No, I'm not a mangaka, but I draw comic books sometimes, and later I will draw like my real comic book, you know, with a story and stuff. Yeah, nice. Thank you, Pen, for feedback. Yeah, and I have video showing my comic books. You can check my video. Yes, there's two kind of practice. I mean, in a sense of like you go into gym, so you're like training certain muscles, you train in certain moves, and then there is work application, work experience is like a fight. It's like it can be even like fight in a gym, but it's a fight when you know you need to use all your knowledge. You will test all your abilities, like what is your strength, how much endurance you have so far, you know, how good your reaction. Everything will work together. So this is a fight. And the training, you can like develop like proper movements, develop muscles. So for artists, right, you can just isolate like practice certain skills, practice certain techniques, But if you only focus on it, it's kind of pointless. Anyway, it's just like going in circles. Yeah, we'll draw comic book, so... yeah, it's anyway, people just want to say something nice, and I think this kind of main thing about this. Yeah, birds go into lunch right now, and yeah, and I think I will go to lunch too. Thank you everybody, yeah, for watching. Maybe there will be like hype button, you can push hype button, I will be super appreciate. See you next time.